Okay, so I am back for season 9, episode 2 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So, episode 2 was called House Wars, and we're picking up where Phaedra and Portia walk in to Kenya's housewarming party. So, as I mentioned in the last video for episode 1, oh, Miss Sheree, she was there for that drama, baby. She was laughing and giggling. She just couldn't wait to see it all pop up. I know that's what she was thinking because that's what I was thinking too. So we're at the Moore Manor. So Kenya's housewarming party looks like it's going okay. Sheree is complaining that it's hot and raggedy or whatever. But she is just cracking up because Portia is walking in and she knows that she wasn't invited. So Kenya actually walks over and she says hello to all the ladies, and then she asks Portia if she can speak with her. I guess outside or in another room. I think it was outside, yes. So she pulls her to the side and she's talking to Portia, and she is Portia. That is, Portia is very calm about it. She listens to Kenya, and she actually finished Kenya's sentence because Kenya was kind of beating around the bush about trying to tell the girl to get out of her house. And she was like, you want me to leave? I'll leave. No problem. And she just walked out. And then she went to Phaedra and told Phaedra, I'm going to go ahead and leave. I'm going to bow out. And of course, Phaedra left with her because she was Phaedra's date. Well, not only did Phaedra leave, but behind them comes Miss Sheree. So Sheree leaves with them. As they're leaving, someone else is coming in, and this someone else is Matt. So the previous season, we know that Matt is Kenya's boo, her boyfriend, and apparently they had some altercation, and it turned physical. And I believe he did not hit her. I think he like pushed the door or something, and um, I guess that's the extent of it. So she didn't want to be with someone that had those type of tendencies or was spazzed out like that because she couldn't trust them, which is understandable. But anywho, up walks Matt. So he's walking up the driveway and he comes in the house and they go off into a separate room. He does start off with an apology. So that was cool. And they decide that they would work on their relationship. Side note, after that, they go out and there's a cake. Gosh, I don't really want to be negative, but the cake was just as raggedy as some of the stuff in that house. Like, that cake was all lopsided. I'm like, who made this cake for her? It is complete. Okay, anyways, let's let's go on. The next scene is about Cynthia and Miss Noelle. Oh my God, she is the cutest little thing. Noelle is now, I think it's at 15 or 16. Noelle looks so cute. She's so pretty like her mom. She is definitely model material. She's beautiful. And she said something that made Cynthia cry. She said, Mom, do you have low self esteem? And Cynthia kind of was taken back, and she's like, why would you say that? And she's like, because I can't understand a person that would take all of that abuse or arguing with someone all the time if they don't have low self-esteem. And gosh, Cynthia completely started crying, and she told her daughter that she was smart. And then of course Noelle comforts her mom. She's holding her mom and hugging her and telling her that it's going to be okay. So Cynthia has done an awesome job. Her and gosh, what is Noelle's father's name? I can't remember his name, but I'm like, was he on the Five Heartbeats or Temptations? I can see it's Leon. They've done a great job with that child. She seems to be grounded and she has an understanding of life. So that was awesome. Next scene, we're at Candy's. So I think we're at Candy's office actually. And her and her husband are talking about Ace's line. She had mentioned that Ace has so many followers on Instagram and they're going to build upon that. And I say, yes, do that. Do that. Build an empire for your family and wealth. generational wealth for your children and their children, that is the way to go. So they're coming up with all these different things, whether it's toys and clothing and stuff like that, with their son's name, of course. So that's awesome. They're looking at some logos. That's what it is. They're looking at logos and products. And in walks Candy's mom, and then they start talking about the old lady gang, and that's cool. Um, what else? Oh, Candy's mom, she is just as shady as some of these younger women, right? So she starts talking about Phaedra. She's like, she doesn't trust her, that she needs to be sharing a cell with Apollo. Like, I'm falling out. Like, this lady is hilarious to me. She's her mother is funny to me. So she's like, it doesn't take that long to get a divorce, and she's going into like basically Georgia law. She like, if someone commits fraud, or I forgot what the other thing was, if they commit fraud and blah 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 blah, they can get a divorce. It's been a year, blah blah blah. You know, someone, their assistant, he pulls up on his laptop, and he's like, "Yep, she's right." And she got up and she was dancing. She's like, "I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about." Her mother is hilarious to me. So, anywho, the next scene is a meetup. The first meetup is with Phaedra and Kenya. So I thought that was kind of odd in a way, because I know Phaedra could not stay at Kenya's um, housewarming party, but it's like, why are you meeting up? You know, because what's her name? Oh girl, Portia drove, so I can understand she couldn't stay, but and perhaps they cut a few things, but I'm like, why she didn't say bye to Kenya? She was only there for like 5 minutes at the housewarming party, but anyway, they meet up, and they talk a little bit. Phaedra tells Kenya that Portia is going to be having a little meetup for all of the ladies, and she wants to invite her. And basically, Kenya's like, "Well, I need a personal invitation. Like, you know how I am about that." So blah 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 blah. The next scene is another meetup. We have Sheree and Portia. Okay, so Portia is going over the same information that Phaedra just shared with Kenya, that she's going to have a little get together with all the girls, and that she has been in anger management, and she's really working, and she's becoming a new person, and she just wants to display that to all of the ladies. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Can I just say that this episode, and I know that um, they have makeup artists and stylists and stuff like that, but this episode seemed like they had like a lot of breasts. Like, everybody breast was sitting up here, like everybody's. I think even Candy's mother, her breast was, no, okay, maybe not, but for real, it's like everybody's breast was up and out. Like, yeah, okay. So do 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 do. Oh, this was like the really good part, right? So we find out from Candy's friend, Lena, I think it is. Lena just jumped right on in with the gossip. She was talking to Kenya apparently, and let Kenya know that Sheree was talking mad crap about her house at the housewarming. So of course Kenya is ready. She's like heated. She is ready with like ammunition, and she's like, yeah, that house, Sheree's house is not even in her name. It's in her mother's name. It should be the Chateau Thelma. And like I said, she's good at name calling. She's quick. Um, she is super, super quick. So then we go back to Cynthia, right? Cynthia, yep, Cynthia and Peter. And they're talking, and they met up. That's what it was. They met up at one of their places, I think. No, they met up at a coffee place, Drip. And she said to him, I love you. I respect you. I just can't be married to you anymore. And I was like, oh. embarrassed because he had just kind of said that he had to go to the hospital. He was having chest pains, and that's when he realized that like it was about to be over because they asked for an emergency contact, and he was kind of like, ugh. But that's too bad because let me tell you, Cynthia seemed like she just hardcore. She's like, it's over, kind of. I mean, maybe she cries at home alone, but she seems really, really hardcore when it comes to this divorcing. She's serious about it. Unlike who was the other lady supposed to be getting Phaedra. Unlike Phaedra. It don't seem like she getting a divorce. But anyway. So we're at the last scene and it takes place at I don't know the actual name of it, but it's an escape room. And I've been to an escape room before. And it's super, super fun and it's a great team building activity. So Portia sets this event up. It looks like it's in a mall though. But anyway, so she sets this team building activity up, and she of course is six of them. So she of course puts the three that don't like each other on both sides. She puts them all together. Okay, if that makes sense. So all the ones who don't get along with each other, those are the ones who are grouped. Okay, so they do this escape room and event, and they seem like they had a good time. They work together. Blah 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 blah. Then they peace out, they leaving, and before two people get to leave, because everybody else left, let's see, Kenya pulls Cherie to the side and like, I got some unfinished business to handle with you now. To be honest, I feel like Kenya already came with that ammunition. She was ready for it. That's what she wanted. She wanted to bring up this situation about the house. Like, the whole thing is petty. They both were trying to outdo each other. So this is what happens. This is what happens. They're both going to be critical of each other because they want to look like the bigger, the better home owner, right? So she goes and she steps to Sheree and she's like, I heard that you were saying this and that about the house and yada yada yada. And Sheree kind of didn't even back down. She's like, yeah, I did say that. And I said this too. And I said that. And I said blah, 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 blah. And Kenya, at that point, I think Kenya called her a name. Like, she called her out her name. She called her out her name. And a few minutes after that, Kenya like walks off or whatever. But Sheree is behind her and she's like, yeah, your house, she's steady talking. I was kind of shocked by that. I think sometimes Kenya is a lot of talk, no bite. Is that what they say? A lot of bark, no bite. That's what they say. And at that moment, though, it kind of looked like Sheree was the bully. But anywho, that is how that episode ended. And we are going to check out episode 3. And I'll be back to give you guys a review on that one. Let me know what you think, what you thought about that episode, what you thought about all that shade that was being thrown everywhere. And, let's also talk about Candy's mama. Should she have her own show? Do y'all like her that much? Or do y'all not like her at all? You know what? I used to couldn't stand Candy's mother. And I think it was because of Todd. I didn't like how she was acting towards Todd. I kind of felt like she was pushing Todd away. And Candy deserved to be happy. And I think that's why I was a little bit agitated with the mom. But some episodes, I'm just like, this lady is funny. So anyways, tell me what you guys think. And I shall see you guys again next Monday for the episode 3. All right. Bye.